Hello and welcome to the first Start Something Saturday. Get your hooks and let's crochet. 2026, that's right. So say hello in the comment section. Come on in and tell us. Let's talk about your plans, your crafty plans for the month of January. That's right. So if you're brand new to my channel and you're brand new to Start Something Saturday, hi, my name is May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, and completely colorblind. So I mostly knit and crochet by feel. And if you're brand new to Start Something Saturday, well, I like to do these on the first Saturday of every month. I kind of think sometimes they get too long and I should maybe do 2 a month, but we'll see, right? So this is just kind of like a sort of talk out loud brainstorming session of all the things that are in my head that I want to knit and crochet this month. Now, obviously, I got way too many ideas, right? I'm never going to get them all done, even though sometimes I don't sleep. Other times I sleep a lot, right? So, I'm probably never going to get them done in a lifetime, but I know sometimes people can get like they kind of lose their crojo, right? They're like, I don't really feel like it. Or they kind of get like analysis paralysis, or they're just out of ideas for some reason, right? Well, I'm here to talk about all the ideas that are in my head. So now I do live in Washington State in the United States, okay? And so where I live, it's cold in January. It's very cold. We just had our first spell recently of like overnight temperatures in the teens, okay? So it was very chilly. I was huddled under. I'm so glad that I know how to knit and crochet, because when I was huddled up under that pile of blankets, I was like, ooh, I need to get busy making more blankets. That's right. So in January, what's on my mind here where I live is blankets, like cardies, hoodies, coats, hats, scarves, mittens, fingerless gloves, right? All those things that we need to stay warm when it's cold. So, if you thought, I did do a Mary Maxim blanket kit unboxing right after Christmas, and I had 3 crochet blanket kits, right? So, kind of want to get started on, like all of them, right? Like all of them. Waves of lace throw. I did talk about the nativity blanket, showed that, but that is filet crochet, and well, it's charted, and I'm visually impaired, and I've never done filet crochet before. So as much as I kind of want to do that, and it's supposed to be simple, right? Double crochet and chains. I'm kind of like, maybe I'll wait on that one, right? And of course, some people are like, that's Christmas. Christmas is over. I know, but it might take me a whole year to do filet crochet, right? And to work a chart, because I can still see some, but I'm going to have to figure out how to zoom it in and enlarge it bit by bit. And I've got severe eye strain issues where I can only read things for so long, okay? So, and I also have the sparkle mandala blanket, which is in here. I kind of want to start this one too, even though it's a Christmas blanket, because again, could take me all year, okay? So all 3 of these are like, the new toys, y'all, the Christmas toys. The new toys are in the house, y'all, and I want to touch them all, right? I want to touch all the yarn and start all the things right now. I do. That's just a straight up fact. I can't even lie. I'm like, oh, I want to start them all. So that's kind of going through my head. I really want to start another knit blanket, but well, if you've been watching since November, right, I've still got my Lion brand Big Scoop blanket on the needles, and well, let's just say I worked with y'all on the Monday of the week of Thanksgiving. Yeah, it got neglected for well over a month, right? We were doing the Christmas blanket, we were doing Christmas decor, we were doing my make-along with the socks, right? So this blanket, well, it really didn't get much love till the very end, right? The very end of the month. Yeah. And then I started working on it again. So I do want to start another knit blanket very badly. This is a beautiful baby blanket, right? So there's a tutorial on my channel, by the way. If you haven't seen it and you want to make it, there's definitely a tutorial on my channel for this. I want to make sure I'm really careful about how I pick this up, right? Because we don't want me dropping the whole thing off the needles. We cannot have that. That would be a major sad face, right? But if you want to make this, this is the Lion Brand Ice Cream Big Scoop. It's a DK weight yarn. It's it's a self-striping yarn, right? And it's kind of visually busy. And so I've talked about how those particular yarns can sometimes be really challenging to find a good pattern for it. I'm really liking this pattern with this yarn, y'all. So I could probably stop it soon, right? Some people probably say it's big enough, but I'm enjoying making it. I'm enjoying just kind of seeing like how the yarn plays out. So we might try to work on this just a little bit more, maybe put on just a couple more pattern repeats before we end it. But this is a baby blanket that I'm sure eventually I'll donate to somebody, right? It's not really going to be big enough for me, no matter how long I make it. At this point, width-wise, it's, you know, not going to give me much coverage. So, and it's so cold here, I do kind of want to make another baby blanket already. And I also have on my channel that we did in November, right? We did my fancy in faux fur hat, right? I have 3 tutorials on my channel for all of the above, okay? And where I live, it is very, very cold, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, so if you want to make these, okay, you can find the free tutorials on my channel for the fancy and faux fur knit hat and scarf and fingerless mitts, okay? So what have I talked about? How I love making these, and super disappointed. Now, I love Knit Picks and We Crochet. If you don't know that yet, they really do have the best color descriptions on the internet for somebody who's colorblind, alrighty? But this is a number 6 super bulky polyester yarn. It's called Fairy Tale Fur, they are really decreasing the colors, right? They're not restocking the colors, so they're down to about 5 colors. They're down to the Corvo. This is the black. They got this, I think, like 3 different grays: the andesite, the lapin, the lutra, and a nice brown. Okay. Well, I really want to make this in white, right? I want to make it in white. And by the way, right, white is, whether you like it or not, right? White was chosen for the color of the year in 2026. So, and I think it's a nice color for the winter, right? It can kind of brighten things up. And so I've really been exploring the internet, right? Looking for alternative yarns that we can make this in. And I showed you, I did an unboxing. I bought some fur yarns from Webs, right? So we got the Serdar Alpine, right, in the white. And then we also have the knitting fever for real in this, I think it's like a gray, I think. Hang on, you guys know I use the screen reader, right? Got my earbud in, trying to figure out who I'm getting a phone call from right now. But I got this knitting fever for real in this like gray and white and black mix. And so I'm kind of wanting to remake this, right? And like in the gray, in the white, because I kind of want to test it out as somebody who has designed these, right? Okay. Call from my mom. Okay, we already talked today. My parents are seniors. If you don't know that, if you're pregnant, my parents are elderly and they live a couple hours away. I already talked to my mom this morning. She's calling me again. It's possible she forgot that she already called me today. So anyways, so we got these 2 yarns, and I kind of want to remake these in like the white and the gray, because as somebody who designed these patterns and is seeing that they are, you know, cutting back on the colors. Now, black is this beautiful, right? This black is gorgeous. The grays are gorgeous. The brown is nice, right? But I also want to help you all find alternative yarns, because maybe you want to make it in white, right? Maybe you want to make it in this lighter gray, right? This marled. And so I feel like as a designer of the patterns, right, I should be able to test these yarns out, right? And see, can you in fact make the set, with an alternative yarn. So you saw I got these off of Webs, and then I also have been playing with some knockoffs off of Amazon, right? We bought some, what is this, y'all? So I can still read the large print on the labels, that's more dark. But I got these knockoffs off the internet, off the Amazon, right? These cheapo stuff. So we might play with some of those. So I kind of want to do that this month, right? Kind of, right? But there's a lot, so I want to do this, but I have so many other things. I don't know for sure if we'll get to this in January. This might be a February project too. When I talk about things for Start Something Saturday, the things that I get into my head that I kind of want to do in January, but sometimes, you know what? It's definitely still winter here in February too, okay? Anyways, sorry about that. I'm getting my mom leaving me text messages. Where I live, it's definitely snowy still in December. It's snowy. Like sometimes February is our snowiest month. So when I'm talking about winter makes, it could definitely be things we do in January. It could definitely be things we do in February. All of that, right? So, because I remember one year I was up here in February, and we got over 2 feet of snow in the month of February, okay? So, I could definitely still do all things winter in February as well, but I definitely want to test out these alternate yarns, right? Sorry, now my hair is probably all messy, you guys. Probably shouldn't have put that on camera. So, that's definitely like blankets, hats, and scarves are on my mind, right? That's kind of what I want to do. And you know I'm obsessed with this fur yarn, right? You know that I am. And you've seen it on my channel a few times, y'all. Not only did I make a hat and a scarf and fingerless knit set, but I also have made a fancy and faux fur knit swing coat in that yarn. Yeah, this is also in the Corvo, this gorgeous, gorgeous black. And I kind of want to remake this in a different color, like white, like gray, like wet. So now Knit Picks and We Crochet doesn't have the white in stock anymore, but it's called Ice Bar, was their white. And I do have enough of that in the house, y'all, that we could make this. So that's kind of on my mind. Are we going to do it this month? I don't know. Are we even going to do it this year? I don't know. But look at this coat, y'all. I absolutely love it. And so I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe that needs to happen, right? Other like scarves that I've talked about are, I have the Wonder Fluff ombre cakes, right? I talked about that, how these are the ombre cakes. Now they only have Knit Picks and We Crochet, only has about 4 colors left in the ombres. But I have talked about how these would make gorgeous, gorgeous like scarves, right? Where you start at one end with one cake and you do like a scarf, like a knit scarf, and then you do about half of your scarf, and then you start with your other cake and do the other half, and you do like a 3 needle bind off. Now this is called the Moose Heather. I really love it. I got 2 of them. However, I'm not 100% certain I can wear this as a scarf. I want to, but it's supposed to have just a little bit. It's supposed to be like a brownish red with maybe a little bit of orange in it, and I can't always wear orange near my face, okay? So yeah, so there's that. So I want to make this, right? That's definitely on my mind, but I don't know if this Moose Heather is the exact right color for me to do it. This would though, this Wonder Fluff ombre would make an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous winter scarf, okay? And then of course, really soft. This is scarf yarn, okay? If you're wondering, Wonder Fluff is definitely a scarf yarn. Let's see. And then of course we've got the Christmas glitter wheel of alpaca, right? You've seen them on here. I did make a shawl by Crystal over at Bag O Day with the Christmas glitter wheel of alpaca in the cinnamon. I think this is called cinnamon. But this would also be great for a scarf, but these are much, much bigger cakes. And so I'm kind of like, maybe these are more for cardies, right? Because I do kind of want to do cardies. So I could possibly use these for garments. I still think I would still very much wear these browns and reds and greens all through winter. These are winter colors to me. And then I still have the blue one too, right? And I believe it's called like Snowflake or something like that. And these are from Hobby, Hobbii, all the way in Denmark. And this very much says winter colors to me. I don't know what colors you like to do in winter time. And by the way, I've talked about throughout the month, right? I started in October when I talked about Breast Cancer Awareness Month and doing the pink hats, right? Which I actually did this fancy info for hat that I had on. I did one in pink on the channel for breast cancer awareness. And I talked about doing purple hats for pancreatic cancer in November. And the Cancer Awareness Month for January is cervical cancer, okay? And so the cervical cancer ribbon is sort of a combo of teal and white. Now, as somebody who's colorblind, I'm just going to be real with you guys. Teal is a very, very difficult color for me, okay? Because it's like a combo of blue and green. And I'm like, how much blue? Is it still a blue? Or is that more like a turquoise blue? Or is that more like a green, right? Is that like a peacock green? Is that teal? Like, I don't know. And I can't wear all the teals. I can wear some teals, right? But I can't wear all the teals because some of them are too green for me, right? So I don't really buy a lot of teal yarn. I might have some somewhere, right? So as much as I love the idea of making hats for, you know, cervical cancer and like teal or teal and white, I don't know that I even have the yarn for it in the house. But if you are somebody who likes to make charity hats, right, for cancer, for individuals who have cancer, just know that teal and white is the combo of color you're looking for. So if you're looking for winter colors, to me, I like white. I have to be careful about the creams. A lot of people go with what's called a winter white, right? Or like a cream white, and I can do some kind of off-whites. I can't do the off-whites that are like super yellow, right? If they're beigey, I really can't wear them near my face. I think this one is probably gonna be okay for me to wear as like a shawl or something, this blue and white hobby. And so for me, I think winter colors for me are still very much sort of the whites to the off-whites, the blues, the light blues, very much wintry. The grays are very wintry to me, right? Which is why I feel like this gray of this Knitting Fever for Real, this marled gray. That's very, very wintry to me. So those are kind of the colors, but I still definitely wear those browns and those reds, right? Like I'll wear those nice dark reds, you know, all year long. So, but I definitely do think of kind of like browns and sort of grays and, you know, blues and those kinds of things for winter. I did pull out some of this chroma in this gray. This is chroma worsted from Knit Picks and We Crochet. This might be a discontinued color, but they still have a lot of colors of it. It's a 70% wool, 30% nylon, and I actually have I have a hat. I should have brought it with me. My shell and trellis beanie. Don't know why I didn't bring it with me today. And the scarf are on my channel, okay? And well, the scarf's not there yet, but I made it. I've shown it on the channel numerous times, and that's still definitely something that this chroma worsted would be great for. The shell and trellis beanie that's on the thumbnail, right, is in chroma worsted. So this would be great to do hats and scarves in. I think it would all, I was thinking about doing some leg warmers with this too, right? Like leg warmers would be cool. Pants, some big thick worsted weight socks would be neat. These are grays. They've got like brighter colors too. They've got lots of like blues and bright greens, and that I tended to go with somebody who's colorblind. I have to be super careful, and half Chinese, right? Can't wear some of those yellows and oranges. So I tend to go with the neutrals on this one, the grays. But that's kind of the stuff that I'm thinking about. And then of course, right, I showed you this 33 hat from Julie, free pattern over at It's a free pattern on the Ravelry, okay? And I even brought like some printouts for you all, right? To let you see and to help me, right? I said I want to be more organized this year. So I can't see very well though, so it's still kind of hard for me to pick out what I'm looking at here, y'all. I thought that I brought it with me, but maybe I didn't, you guys. Maybe I didn't. But anyways, okay, I showed you though the printout for this hat is the 33, designed by Julie, which means it is done in 33 rounds on a super bulky yarn. Now this yarn is the Millhouse 100% acrylic, but let me tell you, when we got down into the teens here, okay, it was so cold in the house that I put this hat on for a while in the house, and it's cables and it's super bulky. This hat is really, really warm, like within less than an hour. Man, I had to take it off. I was running around doing some stuff, trying to get warm, trying to keep my head warm, right? And I literally had to take it off, okay? I was like, woo, that's getting hot, right? So, so this hat can be done in 33 rounds and a super bulky. And she said it took her 3 hours. Cables are kind of fidgety for me. It probably takes me at least 4. But the more I was wearing this, I was like, ooh, I need to make this in more yarns and in more colors for me, right? For me, because I definitely want to have some to wear around here in the winter. And then also, like I talked about, I already talked about this in another video, but I think this is a great hat for donations, right? For homeless people who are sleeping outside, right? A super bulky, thick cable hat would really keep them warm. I also talked about that. It'd be a great one to stash in your car, right? Just shove it in the corner in your trunk somewhere. It's small. You can like wad it up, shove it in the corner of your trunk somewhere. And then if like you're stuck, I live in Washington. We got the Cascade Mountains that divide our state. And you can literally, if there's accidents, there's slide outs, the path gets closed because of weather conditions, you can be stuck there for literally hours, right? If there's an accident, if there's a semi that's jackknifed, if there's a slide off, if there's like, we can get a foot of snow up there in a couple of hours, okay? And you can literally be stuck in traffic for 6, 8, 10, sometimes they close the path and people are stuck up there. This is a great hat to be like, you know what? I'm stuck in my car for 8 hours, pull this out. Your head's gonna stay toasty, toasty warm. And that's really important to keep our heads warm when it's cold. And I have power outages up here, like power outages for days, y'all, days. And so I'm definitely looking at, this is the wool is thick and quick, right? Here it is, you guys, it's 33. This is what it looks like. This, I'm assuming that's Julie modeling her hat. I don't know for sure if she's modeling her hat or if she had somebody else do it. But I did not design these, okay? But they are designed by Julie. So I've got this beautiful yarn that I just showed you from Lion Brand in the Wool Is Thick and Quick. I've got it in the Metropolis. I've got it in plain black. I've got it in the abalone, okay? All of this. So these, I think, would be great yarns to do up this hat in. I really do. I think they'd be beautiful, worked up in that cable pattern already. And then she went and worked it up for us in a bulky way as well. And it's called 42, right? Very, very clever, because you can make the same hat in 42 rounds. And so so she's got these all worked up. And then she's also did a worsted weight one. So these are definitely hats that I want to make. It's the exact same pattern, just more pattern repeats, right? So that was pretty cool. The 33, the 42. I can't remember the number on the worsted one, but it's the number of rounds. It's probably like 54 or something like that. But they're all free on Ravelry, okay? So these are nice because you could do, at least with the 33, you can do it with 1 skein of yarn. She talked about having 1 skein of the Rowan Big Wool at 87 yards. And I did mine with less, probably about 80 yards, the one that I just showed you. So if you worked up a big project, right, of your super bulky, and then you have like 1 lonely skein left, you know, you're like, what am I going to do with that, right? That would be great. Like I did the sailboat blanket with y'all, right, and the Brava bulky. And I have 1 skein left of the Tranquil, okay, and Brava bulky. So I got that. That's going to be a great, this number 42 is going to be a great, great pattern for that hat. All right. It just is. So, so I'm kind of excited about that. I want to work up a bunch of those. And once you have the pattern memorized, I think it's going to be easy to do any of the 3 sizes too, which is super cool. So, I did get out my puzzle shimmer. I think puzzle shimmer would look beautiful, but of course we talked about this numerous times, right? I do believe Premier Yarns is discontinuing puzzle shimmer. So what you got is what you got, right? And so part of me is like, maybe don't use your puzzle shimmer for that hat because, you know, there's only so much of it, right, in the world. Not that I think they've stopped making it, but I think the Premier puzzle, right, the plain puzzle, they still seem to be putting out without the shimmer, right? They still are producing, so I think puzzle or puzzle shimmer. I kind of want to use my puzzle shimmer because it looked beautiful, but then I'm like, maybe save your puzzle shimmer. So I'm undecided on whether or not I want to use my puzzle shimmer to make one of those hats, the 42 hats, or if I want to save it. But I'm also looking at my puzzle shimmer because I have a cardi in mind that I really want to do. I'm designing a cardi in my head. Am I going to get that done? Well, I don't know yet, but I just bought some Premier yarn called Fable, which I believe is also 100% acrylic, super bulky yarn. Now, yeah, I wanted to do the unboxing. It was actually scheduled for this last weekend, right? But then I wanted to cover the bulky sale at crochet.com, so I bumped my yarn unboxing. So you haven't seen it yet. It should show up tomorrow from Premier Yarns. And so they have a number 6 super bulky yarn called Fable. It's acrylic. And so I have bought some of that. And that I think would also be a good yarn for these patterns. So I printed out their tote pattern with it. So I'm undecided on whether or not I should have brought the yarn with me, but you'll see it on the unboxing tomorrow. But this is what it looks like kind of worked up, right? So that would probably be a good yarn for those bulky weight patterns as well. I might make the tote. I might use my Fable for the tote, you guys, and might save my puzzle shimmer for a cardi that's in my head. I wish I could tell you more about it, but it's just kind of like in my head. And I haven't totally worked it. I don't even know if it's going to actually work or not, y'all. I have no clue if we're going to be able to make it work or not. I get all kinds of designs in my head. But I think that if you don't mind doing like acrylic yarns, right, I think that this Fable might look really cool in one of those cable hats too. If you're like looking at some of these yarns going, what do we do with them, right? So there's that. I'm also looking at that the Metropolis and Abalone, right, from Lion Brand in the wool and thick and quick. And where I live, we like to layer up in the winter time, y'all. That's just kind of how we, sorry, I'm looking for another yarn here. That is not it. Hang on. I was looking for a yarn and I'm like, I got it. I don't got it. So, hang on. I always get piles of yarn here and then I like lose what I'm trying to find. So, we layer up here where I live. I need to do a whole video on like do fashion as sort of like a source of inspiration, right? Fashion, we can absolutely look at fashion. We can go through our own closets, in our own wardrobes and get inspo, right? And so like where I live, we layer. Like that's just, especially if you're outdoors. I used to do a lot of outdoor sports, okay? I used to cross country ski and snowshoe and do all those things when I was healthier in my younger days. And so one of the ways we talk about is like keeping our core warm, right? If it's not raining out, you really want to keep your, oh, even if it's raining too, but you really want to keep your core warm. And so we get like these vests and things and we kind of like layer up, right? So we might have like long underwear on and then, so another top on. And then we'll still, if it's not raining, we might put like a vest like this on, right? Like a furry trim vest. So I look at stuff like that. I look at stuff like that all the time, and we just have to have a whole video on like my own fashion purchases, things that I bought, and I'm like, ooh, can I make that, right? And I buy very little clothes anymore because I live in a 3-bedroom house and all 3 closets are full of my clothes, right? And money, I'd rather spend the money on the yarn and keep my hands busy and crafts. But I look at stuff and I think, Ooh, can I make that? Right? So I'm looking at one of these wool ease thick and quick, and I'm looking at this gopher faux, because you know I'm obsessed with the fur yarn, right? And I'm like, can I make like a vest and then take my gopher faux yarn, right? And trim it up. So by the way, if you're looking for more colors of gopher faux or faux fur yarn, Lion brand has gopher faux. Now they don't have a white, but they have a cream that I think is called Baked Alaska. It looked to me like it was a little too cream for this Chinese face to put on like a hat, you know, or on a garment. I could be wrong. So, but I went ahead and bought this gray and the chinchilla, and I bought some in black. And I'm debating which color, if I do it in this Metropolis, can we put the chinchilla with it, or is that like too much, right? Should I go with the black, or is that like too dark? Should I put the chinchilla with the abalone, or should I do like the black with the abalone, the chinchilla with this? I'm undecided right now on which of these to match up, but that's kind of in my head. It's like a big cable vest, and like it's super bulky to kind of layer up in the winter. That's another great thing to have around during power outages. Is like a really oversized, you know, or in your car or something, or if you're going snowshoeing or something like that. You know, it's a great thing to kind of have on to put over the top of you. And obviously, if it's raining or precipitating or something like that, that, you know, a yarn garment on the outside, you're going to want something waterproof. I got like my North Face coat, or like we plan on wear garbage sacks. And when it's pouring rain, we literally cut holes in the top of garbage sacks and put them over our heads. Not fashionable, but we'll keep you drier, just saying. So, you know, there's that. So if it's heavy precipitating, you don't want this as your outer layer, but they're really good for keeping your core extra warm in our cold temperature. So that's on my mind. Let's see what else. What else is on my mind, y'all? I got so much on my mind. Fingerless gloves. I did design some super basic fingerless gloves that were not fancy on faux fur. I do want to make a basic tutorial for these. They're not hard, they're not complicated. I hope that I'll have time. I don't know for sure, like I said, because I get way more ideas, right? And this is one of those things where I talked about how I need to take better notes, because I did design these, did not take the best notes, so I have to kind of like reconstruct these first, right, in my head, and then see if I can teach them. But I definitely am thinking like mittens. I'm thinking fingerless gloves, right? I love the fingerless gloves on mild days when it's like, you know, 30s, right? And you can still use your cell phone. As somebody who's visually impaired, you can still touch all the things and feel all the things, right? With your fingers, right? So they're super handy. But of course, if it's in the teens, right, you're gonna want full-on mittens. So I don't know, these might be more like a February or March project, just because, you know, we might need middies when it's this cold. But it depends on if it's a mild. December was very mild for us. We had a lot of days in the 40s, which is you know, so these are perfect. For days in the 40s, these are perfect. But that's unseasonably warm for us in the winter. So, but that is on my mind. I really, I've showed you my, oh my goodness. Oh, here's the black yarn in the fur yarn. So I'm trying to decide if the black goes better with the abalone, right? Or if the Metropolis, or if that's just too dark and you wouldn't even see it. So sometimes a contrasting fur is better. This gopher faux, by the way, is really nice. I'm really impressed with the texture of it. It's super plush, super soft. So I'm excited about getting to try and play with more fur yarns. So you've seen my big hoodie, my cable pocket hoodie on here numerous times. I've been wanting to remake this for a long time as well. Don't know for sure if that's going to happen this year or not. It might be another year. We don't know. But I'm definitely thinking, right, I've got out my swish in black, or I've got out my wool of the Andes and Hollyberry. I did already do my big boxy cardie in wool of the Andes and Hollyberry. Do I need a knit cardie and a crochet cardie in wool of the Andes and Hollyberry? Maybe, right? You know how much I love the Hollyberry, right? Maybe. So that's on my mind, y'all. That's definitely on my mind. It is very much snowy here. It's very much still winter, okay? And so I've still got like snowflakes on the mind, right? Snowflakes. So, let me put this stuff over here because I want to talk about that too. But I showed y'all when I was hanging up my Christmas ornaments, right? I showed you how these are supposed to, I did not design these. These are a baby booty pattern out of one of the Cascade books, the Cascade 60 quick patterns for babies, right? And these are like a baby booty with like a little Fair Isle snowflake on them. But my I'm not very good at Fair Isle knitting, but my Fair Isle knitting, I need to practice it, right? And so I'm like, maybe I wanted to make these in red and white for Christmas decor. Never got around to it because we were doing Christmas blankets and make-alongs and socks and all the Christmas things, right? So, but we still have so much snow here. So we don't have snow on the ground right now, but we often have snow in January and February. So I'm like, I could still make some of these, right? Like I talked about in that video, I don't think I would make these for actual baby booties because of the floats inside. I think if I was gonna make them for baby booties, I would not put the snowflake on. I'd just do the booty and the white cuff, okay? And they'd be cute. I think that with the floats, I think that probably little baby toes could possibly get snagged up in those, okay? So I don't know, and mine are really tight because the way I do my Fair Isle is really tight because I like to keep those floats tight, right? And then I don't even know if you could put a baby foot in there, but I definitely am thinking about making some of these, maybe in Cascade 220 or maybe in Mighty Stitch. This might be a good thing for the Mighty Stitch from Knit Picks and We Crochet. But these would be cute for decor for next year. I would still leave these up in January, right? I'm not ashamed to put snowflakes up in January. I kind of want to decorate with January. It's snowflakes, and I still want to wear snowflakes in January because it's snowy here. So I am not at all opposed to making some of these in January, but I'm also thinking about wearing snowflakes for me. So look at this. You know what this is, right? This is some more holly berry. This is Knit Picks We Crochet. Swish DK in the holly berry. And you know what this is, right? If you're a returning viewer, I haven't designed a skirt since October. The last skirt that I designed was my shell and trellis skirt where we put my shell and trellis beanie on the bottom of a skirt. And I love to design skirts around here. So I've started casting this on. And this is another reason why I say I've got to get better at doing a project journal and documenting, y'all. Because I started working on the top half of this waistband, and guess what? I seriously cannot remember how many rounds I did of my Knit 2 Purl 2 ribbing before I did my turning round, right? Which I showed you. I use this on my stockings. If you made the stockings, you know exactly what I'm talking about, or if you even watch those, right? To sew in the elastic, I do that with my waistbands as well. We sew in the elastic, okay? So I was making a waistband here, right, to sew in some elastic. So I got my Knit 2 Purl 2, then did my turning around. I'm like, I'm gonna sew in my elastic. I've already forgotten how many rounds I've done on the first half of it. So that's why I've got to get on top of that project journal, right? So I can document, and reconstruct it. But I'm thinking this would look really cute as like a skirt in this holly berry. And then use some of the white, and probably not, this snowflake's a little bit small for a skirt like this, but maybe a slightly larger snowflake with some kind of snowflake pattern on the bottom. So just because I need to practice my Fair Isle, right? I'm not very good at it, right? And the only way to get better at things is to practice. So I am certainly thinking about something like that. I've obviously started the cast on. Don't know for sure if we're gonna finish this or not. Kind of want to, but I'm designing it myself. It's percolating in my head. Haven't found, this snowflake seems a little bit small, so haven't totally worked that all out yet in my little noggin, right? Because I'm like, do I want to use this snowflake? Do I want to use a different snowflake? I don't know yet. We don't know yet, right? So, but there's all kinds of ideas going on in my head. I'm like, snowflakes to wear. And then, of course, right, one of the goals and things that I talked about for myself this year was like get better at reading, right? At reading crochet charts, y'all. And so, so of course, what did I talk about? I said Premier has some decorative snowflakes. I'm trying to find the pattern and separate it from this purse. We might be making this purse, y'all. We might do that in the middle of the month just because. But okay, so Premier has some free snowflake patterns on their website, okay? And these are written out and they're charted. Okay, these are free. I'm not giving away somebody's paid for pattern. You too can go to the Premier website, right, and download and print out these patterns. And so they're written out and they're charted. And they're charted. Actually, the charts, these are not even enlarged yet, you guys. And the charts are, you know, fairly good. So I think with some magnification, I can try to work with these charts and try to get, these are just basic stitches, right? Your single, your half double, your double, your triple, your chains, your picot. There's picoing involved, okay? So I'm just saying. But I am thinking about, I need to decorate. Maybe we could take down some of these Christmas ornaments, right? And maybe decorate. Should we just take down the Christmas tree? Or should we leave it up? And should we do, like we got this little angel here, right? This is in the Knit Pig Sweet Crochet animation cotton. And then I added the gold, the cotton gold, which I did get. Now I do believe that Premier is out of the, I do believe they are out of this cotton gold, okay? But we could do other colors, like they might only have purple lip. I did buy this at Premier. Premier does have their, I don't remember what yarn, honestly, you guys, this is embarrassing, but they, of course, recommend one of their yarns, and I can't tell which one they're recommending. I'm guessing that it's one of their anti-pilling, probably, I know it's a DK weight yarn because I use the Knit Pig Sweet Crochet animation, a DK weight cotton, right, which I did for my angel. So I'm guessing that they're recommending their DK weight anti-pilling acrylic. I really like it in the cotton, so if you wanted to use their home cotton, they do have their home cotton, which is a cotton polyester blend, but you could also do that with white. And then they also have their afternoon cotton, which is a really fine, they call it a DK. It's kind of on the edge of sport weight in my opinion, but their afternoon cotton, that's a really beautiful, I haven't worked with it yet, but that cotton would probably also be good with this. So I am definitely thinking about decorating this place up with some snowflakes. They've got, I think they've got 3 or 4 different patterns in the snowflakes here. So these would be super pretty. I have started working a couple of them up in the animation. Okay, I did. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to do more or not? So, but I did do a couple and I like them, right? So far, so far, y'all. Right? So this is one of their snowflake patterns with my Knit Pig Sweet Crochet animation in that cotton gold. And that's really pretty. I mean, would you want to take down a tree or like just, or this tinsel, or just start hanging up snowflakes? That would be kind of pretty, right? To keep decorating and hang up a bunch of these really pretty snowflakes. So I am thinking that we need to do more snowflakes, right? That's what's on my mind right now. Snowflakes, snowflakes, snowflakes. And then of course, one more snowflake pattern that caught my attention. Don't know if we'll have time to make it this month because I can only stitch so fast, right? Hirschner's has a really cute snowflake granny square free pattern off of Hirschner's, okay? So this would be really fun to make as a scarf, or I don't know what yet, but something, right? I could do something with it. We don't know what yet. So that's on my mind, right? I kind of want to do that. And then Lion Brand, when I looked at the Wool Ease Thick and Quick, right? They had this cute little hoodie. I have not worked up this Quinn's hoodie at all, but I kind of want to make this, like, I struggle, okay? Because I've only got so many hours in the day. Talking about, I only got 2 hands, right? I'm not an octopus. I talk about my octopus fantasy, right? When I have 8 arms, so I can, you know, knit 2 projects and crochet 2 projects. And that hasn't happened yet. Oh, I got 2 arms, so many hours. So I really want to make this Quinn's hoodie free pattern off of Lion. It's just free pattern. You can download it off of Lion Brand. With the Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick, but I'm also torn because I really like to make my own designs, right? As somebody who's trying to, you know, be a designer here on the YouTube, and I've got all these ideas in my head, I'm constantly torn because I want to work other people's projects, but I also know to be a better designer, right? I have to work at my own projects. So I'm like, I really got to remake my cardi. I really want to design my vest. I really want to design my skirt. So I want to prioritize and balance making things like Quinn's hoodie, right, with my own patterns. So will I get to it all this January? I don't know, right? I legit don't know. So let's talk about just a couple more things that are on my mind. So one of them is, we talked about, I want to do the waistcoat stitch, right? And I want to do this hat from the hobby, one of the hobby advent calendars, right? And I've talked about this. I really want to learn how to do this stitch. It's like faux brioche knitting, because I knit, but I have yet to master brioche knitting, right? And I've talked about my dilemma. I can't wear the orange, and I don't want to do a donation hat to, you know, random homeless person who might not be told you have to hand wash their hat, right? And make it in a hand wash yarn. So I am thinking I could make it in like the Brava tweed, right? Brava tweed from Knit Picks and We Crochet. And then I could donate it, right? So I got this green and I got it in orange. Do you think I can put the green? I can't wear these colors near my face at all, but I'm like, I'm making it for a donation hat, right? So I could make it in orange and green, or is this green or is this black? This might be the black, y'all. I thought it was the green. I really can't tell green from a lot of dark greens from a lot of colors anymore. So this might be the black. Hang on. Oh, this is, because I have a sample swatch worked up. Okay, this is the chimney sweep. So the black and the orange might make some nice, like, autumny kind of, a lot of people think of black and orange for like October, right? Nice, you know, nice autumny colors for the fall to donate to somebody, right? I can't wear the orange, but I'm still thinking about making it and donating it. Or I could actually pick colors that I could wear too and make it for myself. But I'm thinking this Brava tweed would make it, you know, very machine washable. Okay, I think it's probably going to be similar weight-wise, probably going to be fine to substitute, right? That would probably be fine to do that. That's kind of my immediate thought, is if I want the tweedy look like they have, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it for myself or gift it or donate it, then choosing a machine washable yarn is probably the way to go. So that's on my mind. Couple other things that are on my mind is January 20th is Penguin Day. What? I know. Did you know penguins have their own day? Yeah. And I love penguins. I don't know if you know, but I love penguins. I think they're like black and white and they're adorable, right? They're adorable. And to me, they look like they're always in their little tuxedo. Like penguins are always ready for the ball, y'all. They're ready for the banquet. They're ready for the ball. They're ready to get married today. Penguins mate for life too, you know that? And the dads actually help like in the Arctic because, you know, they have to go a long ways to get the food, right, for the babies. So they rotate getting the food and stuff. So penguins are adorable, right? They mated up with their partner. They always got their tuxedo on to get married. So I love penguins. Love penguins. In January 20th is Penguin Day. And so there's a free pattern off of Lion Brand for a penguin. And also this book, right, the Crochet Critter book, also has a penguin. It has, I'm going to be careful not to show. This is a page for the Lion Brand penguin is a free penguin pattern you can get. But this one in the book is not, because you got to buy the book, so I don't want to show you the actual pattern. But they have a penguin. No, they made their penguin gray. I'm like, what? Penguins got tuxedos on, so we cannot be making it in gray. So I'm kind of leaning towards the Lion Brand penguin because they got their penguin colors right? They got it black, and then you do a white belly patch. Now they do theirs in the Vanish Choice, which is a nice worsted weight acrylic. But for me to do Annie's in a 4 worsted, you got to use a pretty small hook, right? You do. And as you know, right, if you're a returning viewer, what do you know about me? I am terrible at crocheting with a small hook, and I can't read what size hook it says to use on here at all, but I'm guessing it's a small hook, okay? If we're working with the number 4 worsted weight yarn and we're doing an Amy, you're probably going to be using either a 3.75, right? Like a F 3.75 or maybe a G 4 milli. I can crochet with G 4 millis for Amy's kinda, but I do much better if I do it in plushy size, like the super bulkies, right? Like my snow person, that was supposed to be done, I think in a DK or a worsted, I can't even remember. I think it's paint box DK on like E-hooks or something, and I'm like, nope, right? So I did them in a super bulky, the Parfait Glitz. So I'm kind of thinking that I could do, for Penguin Day, right, we could do this Lion Brand plushie in either, right, what did I do with it? I had it here, y'all, and then I lose it. I had some Lion Brand wool in thick and quick. I had some wool in thick and quick out here in the white in the celebration, and I've already lost it, right? I mean, you know that. But I am thinking either the Lion Brand wool is thick and quick in celebration, or we could do it in the Parfait Glitz again, y'all. We could, absolutely. Here it is, right in front of me. This is part being visually impaired. I get it right in front of me. I touch it, and I still don't know it's there. So I do have the Lion Brand wool is thick and quick in celebration and in black. So we could make a penguin with that and use Lion Brand yarn. Or I do have some of the Parfait. I know I swap brands. I really am grateful, okay? When a company gives me a free pattern, super grateful for it. Premier, I'm super grateful for your snowflake credit pattern. All credit to y'all, right? So, but then Lion Brand, I'm super grateful for your free penguin pattern. But guess what? I kind of want to use the Parfait Glitz in the black, and I still got some of the white. Would that be fun to make like a big plushie, like size of this snowman, sparkly penguin for Penguin Day? I'm kind of like, ooh, that would be like really fun. I don't know about you, but I'm like, a big sparkly penguin might be just what I need, right? January can be a little bit of a downer for people, right? It's dark, it's winter, it's cold, right? Some people, winter can be hard on. I'm like, maybe what I need is a big plushy sparkly penguin to, you know, get me through the winter. So I'm debating right now. I just know for me to do a super bulky, then I can use probably like a 5.5 or a 6 milli crochet hook, right? I think I used a 6 milli on my snowman, I'm pretty sure, and I think he turned out okay. So I think I could do either one of these on a 6 milli and get a nice plushy plump penguin with some sparkle. I mean, to me, that's fun. So I am definitely thinking about a penguin, y'all. Big sparkly penguin. And then the only other things I'm thinking about, because it's cold weather, is I'm thinking about, I haven't done it yet, okay? I really haven't even done the research yet. But it's cold, it's soup weather, okay? It's definitely soup weather here. It's soup weather. And January's National Soup Month. What? I know. So I'm thinking about like soup bowl covers, okay? And I haven't crocheted one yet, haven't done a lot of research on it. But what I would know is you'd want something that could go in the microwave. So you're going to want a 100% cotton. So I think that probably, my guess would be Lily's Sugar and Cream or Dishy, right? Your Dishy cone. I would definitely not use, anything with acrylic if you want it to go in the microwave. If you just want it for a cereal bowl cover, use what you want, right? But we know acrylic is plastic. We talk about it on this channel all the time. Acrylic is plastic, and I do think it's going to melt in the microwave and or put off some toxic fumes that you don't want, okay? So I would definitely, if you want to be microwave safe, I would definitely go with a Dishy from Knit Picks and We Crochet, or this I think would be a great use for this Lily Sugar and Cream, right? Because this is kind of a rougher, it's a nice cotton. I did my first dishcloth with Lily Sugar and Cream, but it's a little bit of a sturdier, right? A little bit of a sturdier, a little bit of a rougher cotton. So I think the brief research that I did, it looked like Crystal from Bag O' Day may have one on her channel. I'm going to keep looking to see if I can find a tutorial or a pattern. I would love to design my own, but you know what? Like there's so much already out there designed that I'll probably realistically just check out and see what Crystal has or what somebody else has on the YouTube streets, right? But it's National Soup Month, so we might be making some bowl covers, and also when it's cold out, like a nice hot bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, right? That can be nice. It's also National Oatmeal Month. Yeah, really, who knew, right? But so a bowl cozy would be great for either one of those when it's super cold out and you want warm food, right? A bowl cozy would be amazing for the microwave. So and also, you know, like I talk about on my channel, this is primarily a yarn channel, okay? So yarn's going to be my priority, knitting, crocheting, yarn. But as somebody who's visually impaired, right, who does content on the internet, okay, I also feel like it's important to me to cover other things that visually impaired people, how we do things like practical everyday things like cooking and stuff, right? And so you might see some cooking videos pop up now and then because National Soup Month, National Oatmeal Month, who knew, right? I like to cook both. So I try to put those on like a Tuesday or Thursday. I kind of leave those days open for a variety of things, right? We might do teaching videos, we might do tutorials, we might do yarn sales on those days. But you also might see a cooking video pop up on a Tuesday or Thursday. Now, if you don't want to cook with me, that's totally fine. You'll usually say, like, bake a cake with me or cook a pot roast with me, right? We cook a ham for Christmas with me because I really feel like it's important to educate people. There's millions of people who are going blind in this world, and they need to know how to cook and maintain their independence. So if I have the energy to do 2 separate YouTube channels, I would, but the reality is I don't have it in me right now to manage a separate cooking channel. I just don't, y'all. This channel is enough for me. I wouldn't be able to produce enough cooking channels to keep that cooking videos to keep that channel active and this channel at the same time. I just don't have it in me right now. So it's gonna be one or the other right now, and so I'd rather just throw in a few cooking videos because I still gotta eat, right? So I'd rather just throw in a few cooking, and if you don't want to watch them, it's totally okay. You don't have to unsubscribe, right? You just don't need to watch them, right? So, and by the way, did you know that subscribing to a YouTube channel is free, y'all? It won't cost you anything. Okay, YouTube's got subscriptions and it's got memberships. I don't have memberships on my channel. I'm too small to worry about it. But memberships do cost money. But subscriptions are free. You can subscribe to my channel for free, and then you won't miss any of the content, whether you're interested in cooking or visual impairments or disabilities or whatever, right? You won't miss it all. If you don't want to know about the yarn stuff, don't watch the yarn stuff. If you don't want to know about the cooking, don't watch the cooking, okay? And then also tomorrow, the 4th, is Louis Braille's birthday. Louis Braille, the guy who invented Braille, right? It's called World Braille Day. Believe it or not, January 4th, we celebrate the birthday of Louis Braille. World Braille Day. And January is National Braille Literacy Month. So I talked about one of my goals for the year is to get organized, including labeling up my yarn with large print in Braille, okay? So now I've printed out my large print Dishy label for my Dishy code, right? But have yet to Braille it. So we'll probably be talking about some of that on the channel a little bit because I feel like I need to educate about blindness issues as well and take advantage of Braille Literacy Month. We'll probably do that like on a random Tuesday or Wednesday or, you know, something. But again, if you're not interested, right, it's totally okay to not. If you want to help my channel, it always helps me if you watch videos. It helps me. It helps YouTube know that people are watching. But at the same time, I would always say your time is valuable, right? So if you're not interested, it's totally okay. Alrighty. Well, the only other thing that I want to do in January, but I kind of think we won't get to it because really, we got all these things to make. I think we're going to run out of time. We'll probably be able to put it off till the first week of February. Is baby football hats. Yeah, no, I did not design these. These are designed, they are free pattern on the internet, on a blog by a lady whose blog is called the Underground Hooker, okay? Because she crochets. That's what, if you don't know that, yellow people who crochet call themselves hookers, okay? So it's a free blog called the Underground Hooker, and she designed these adorable little baby hats, okay? Football baby hats. And we're into the playoff season now. I don't really follow football, but my daddy does. So we're into the playoffs now. Seattle Seahawks have made it thus so far. I kind of want to make baby football hats to donate, right? But I did make these in the Lion Brand wool ease and the chocolate and the white with the sparkles. I don't have any scrap. These are great scrap busters, okay? These are scrap busters. But you know what? The Super Bowl, I think it's the 8th or something like that. So we could make these the first week in February too. So if we don't get to these in January, if you want to get a head start, then definitely look up the Underground Hooker and look up these baby football hats. And I'm sure that the internet is full. If you go on Ravelry, I'm sure that there's a lot more baby football hats. This is a knit pattern. I'm sure there's a crochet one. And then of course I wanted to put some lace on it, right? So I made one with a lace border instead of the ribbing. I did this a few years ago, y'all. And of course that was before I even thought about having a YouTube channel, right? So I took no notes on that at all. So don't remember how I did that. As soon as I figure it out, y'all, it might be February, but I'll come back here and show you. But if you want to get a head start on baby football knit hats, by all means, look up the Underground Hooker. If we don't get to it in January, hopefully first week of February, we'll get these done for Super Bowl week. But that's also my birthday week, and I'm just thrilled that my birthday, because I'm not a big football fan. I'm not. Can't follow the game. So sometimes my birthday falls on Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm like, man, I get a Super Bowl for my birthday. Some people would love that, but when you're not a big football fan, you're like, oh, okay, right? Like you don't want to go out because the bars are packed, right? People are going to Super Bowl parties every time football, and it's like, it's your birthday. So I know some people love a Super Bowl for their birthday. I'm not thrilled with this, so I'm definitely thrilled that my birthday is not on Super Bowl this year. My birthday is February 5, so I think it's like a Thursday or something like that. Don't actually know yet. But anyways, but we could definitely make these up for my birthday week. I would work up a baby football hat for my birthday week, right? So even though I'd rather work on my cardiac, my fancy and faux for hat. So we'll see. These could be the end of January. These could be February. These could be whenever. And as soon as I figure out the border, I will definitely share that with you. This is why I think I should do 2 Start Something Saturdays, y'all. Because I always think, I'm like, do it 30 minutes. Do it 40 minutes. And then I'm like, but I want to do all this in January, right? So sometimes you let me know. Does this get way too long for you? Would you rather we do this up in 2 sessions? Because we definitely could. So let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you enjoy this. Let me know what's on your needles, what's on your hooks, what's your crafting plan for January. What do you want to make? And of course, are you going to make any or all of this? Are you just going to like drink coffee around the clock and do it all? You gotta do penguins with me and baby football hats and cardies and fingerless gloves and hats, or we're gonna have to put off the fancy and faux fur stuff till February and baby hats till February. I don't know yet, but you let me know what you want to make, okay? What's on your needles, what's on your hooks? Let's share, let's inspire, let's encourage, let's share ideas here, okay? So what are you making and what do you want to make? And we will learn from each other. You might be making something that I want to make. So shout it out in the comment section. And hey, I might have to add that to my January calendar or my February calendar. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye for now.
Button. Double tap to activate. Y'all, we have to issue a correction to the video. I can't be a part of misinformation. So I got this adorable penguin pattern, right? Lion Brand Vantage Choice that I want to do in the premiere, I think. I said in the video, I'm like, penguins made for life, right? And I heard that on a National Geographic movie I watched like over 10 years ago. Anyways, I was like, I wonder if I should check that out with the AI. I asked the AI tonight, and it said not all species mate for life. The Gen 2 are most likely, and often stay with their mate for a season until they hatch, but if their mates don't return, they'll find another mate, right? That maybe 60, 70% mate for life, but certainly not all. That they have been known, although they can be monogamous for a season or two, or, different species. The monogamy rate varies among species. They don't all mate for life. That's a myth. I can't be a part of spreading that. Interesting. I'm a nerd. I'll research something like that. So, National Geographic. Kind of sad to learn. I still love penguins, y'all. I mean, still, I think they're doing better than humans. But, a little disappointed that, the National Geographic special got it a little bit wrong. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Stop.